To the ones who have been chosen, pay careful attention. What I am about to convey is bound to touch the very depths of your essence. Your presence here is not mere coincidence. You have been guided to this message by divine orchestration, because your being, body, soul, and spirit is on the edge of a magnificent evolution. You are crossing the threshold into an elevated realm, one that defies conventional understanding, a space that transcends the world you once knew. This is not a mere phase or development, this is a complete inner rebirth. A fresh, empowered identity is awakening within you, one unchained by the limitations of the past. However, this metamorphosis calls for groundwork. Your entire system requires an upgrade. Your energy, your inner power, and your spiritual alignment must be heightened to fully enter this next dimension. You are being summoned by divine force. The moment is now. The version of you that once existed is dissolving, and in its place something extraordinary is arising. You will soon witness things that once seemed out of reach materializing before your eyes. Your perception of reality will rapidly change. Events will synchronize. The miraculous will become a common occurrence, and the cosmos will reflect your inner awakening. But embarking on this journey is not passive. It demands unwavering attention, persistent commitment, and a heart full of bravery. So, before we continue into the heart of this transformative revelation, take a pause and perform 3 intentional acts. Express your alignment with this message by sharing your energy outward. Join the community of awakened souls on this path. And mark the sacred number 99 in the space below, number charged with spiritual amplification, serving as a divine signal to the Creator. Understand this clearly, chosen soul. If your inner being truly resonates with this frequency, you will remain engaged until this message's final word. For deep inside, you've sensed all along that this is the path you were born to follow. If this truth stirs discomfort or uncertainty, you may walk away. But if you choose to stay, your existence will be forever transformed. Prepare yourself to rise into the full expression of who you were meant to become. The moment of elevation has arrived. Each soul encounters a point in their passage when the voice of the divine breaks through the noise and beckons them toward unfamiliar territory. Today, that divine whisper is resounding, telling you that your body, the sacred container of your spirit, is undergoing a pivotal transformation. This isn't poetic language or metaphorical abstraction. It's a sacred actuality. Your physical form is preparing to enter an elevated state of consciousness, one where old limits no longer hold sway, and where a more radiant, awakened version of yourself is emerging. Visualize your physical frame as a once restricted vessel now being expanded to carry a brilliance so vast it shifts every aspect of your existence. This shift is not random, nor is it abrupt. It is a sacred invitation backed by divine intention. The 5th dimension is not bound by time or space as we know it. The limitations that governed your earlier experiences simply do not exist here. You are being called to participate, to open your spiritual eyes and begin conditioning your whole being to handle this elevation. Consider it akin to fine-tuning an instrument before a great symphony. Without proper preparation, the result would be dissonance. You must now harmonize with the frequency of this higher reality that promises liberation from anguish, uncertainty, and limitation. Let this message resonate deeply within your cells. Your body is already sensing the shift. It is anticipating its next phase of evolution. But you must take conscious steps toward readiness. The calling you are hearing is not ordinary. It is divine, and it carries with it both weight and wonder. Those who respond will become torchbearers of a new human existence. You are not simply changing, You are becoming a vessel through which infinite divine energy can flow. Now is the time to attune yourself to that sacred voice. You have never been merely what others have perceived. You are part of a chosen lineage destined to rise beyond all prior versions of yourself. This is not a shallow alteration of mood or mindset. This is the emergence of a new being that surpasses every previous experience. Imagine an identity freed from weariness, chaos, and inner conflict. This elevated self operates with boundless vitality, crystal, clear insight, and unwavering spiritual awareness. This isn't a fantasy or the stuff of myths. This is the next unfolding stage of human evolution. Throughout the ages, sages and mystics have spoken of awakened individuals who walk the earth with heavenly awareness. What was once the path of a few is now being offered to the many. God is no longer reserving this awakening for secluded mystics. It is arriving in your own being in real time. The upgraded human you are becoming will embody unconditional compassion, peace beyond understanding, and the power to alter reality. You will learn to see past the veils that obscure true vision, and in doing so, you will live from a foundation of divine truth. Welcoming this evolution will require trust and courage. Fear of the unknown is natural, but do not let it paralyze your growth. The new version of you longs to break free and redefine how you relate to the world and the universe itself. This isn't a mere opportunity. It is your spiritual inheritance. You were never meant to just survive the chaos. You are meant to illuminate it with divine presence. As every monumental shift needs energy to fuel it, your physical system must also be optimized to contain and sustain this evolution. You are about to operate from a new blueprint, but your current reserves, spiritually, mentally, and physically, are insufficient for this next stage. Think of it like trying to run new, advanced software on outdated hardware. Without the needed upgrades, the system falters. Your entire self needs to be strengthened, detoxified, and prepared to carry the weight of higher consciousness. The energy required for this is not just bodily. It is a spiritual vibration that lifts the soul and clarifies the mind. This means shedding what no longer serves you, letting go of resentment, dissolving self, sabotaging patterns, and releasing beliefs that confine your potential. This is why the divine urges a total cleansing of your inner landscape. The higher your energy, the more capable your body becomes of holding light, of becoming a beacon within the fifth dimension. Reflect on how you feel after deep rest or meaningful stillness. That sense of connection, vitality, and openness is the beginning of what must become your default state. How committed you are to cleansing and energizing your system will directly determine how far you can journey into this elevated state. The more you invest in preparing your internal space, the longer you can remain in the frequency of liberation, truly becoming the divine version of yourself. This preparation isn't optional. It is vital for you to flourish in this spiritual revolution. You now stand at the edge of two realities. The one behind you is dissolving. Its rules no longer hold you. Physical suffering, emotional confusion, and mental loops are remnants of a chapter that is ending. But this new chapter, this higher existence, requires more than curiosity. It requires your active participation. Those who delay will be stuck in echoes of what was. The universe is not waiting. It is presenting you with a gateway to absolute freedom. Will you move forward? You must release the identity that said you were small, incapable, or broken. Rise now with a truth so powerful it becomes your reality. You are a being of miraculous capacity. This moment calls for bravery and surrender. The space you are entering is not forgiving to the old energies. Fear, resentment, and stagnation have no place in the fifth dimension. Prepare thoroughly, or the gateway may pass you by. Treat this as a sacred alert. Your soul's alarm has sounded. It is not doom. It is divine grace urging you to awaken. All the definitions you once accepted as yourself are falling away, making room for a boundless being to take their place. But that becoming is conditional on your conscious preparation. In heart, body, and mind, this next dimension is not something you find on a map. It is a state of being, a frequency that must be matched. You cannot fake your way into it. Visualize adjusting a radio to pick up a signal. The divine frequency is already broadcasting. If your energy is dense, blocked by fear or blame, the message will never come through clearly. But if you raise your internal vibration, the signal will be strong, undeniable, and transformative. To live at this frequency, you must cultivate emotions that elevate, serenity, kindness, empathy, and joy. These aren't just abstract ideals. They are real energies that reshape your reality. When you live in alignment with them, your body begins to glow from within. This is the light of the next dimension, the vibrational place where the miraculous becomes the norm and your sacred purpose is finally activated. Think of it this way: when pure light passes through a prism, it creates a spectrum of colors. In contrast, lower vibrations produce only shadow. Your frequency determines your experience. As you elevate, your world transforms. In the fifth dimension, intuition sharpens, healing accelerates, and your direct link to divine wisdom becomes unbreakable. Are you open to align your inner essence with this divine resonance? As your body commences its shift toward the elevated plane of the fifth dimension, you might begin sensing things that feel unfamiliar, maybe even slightly disconcerting. It's quite usual to undergo alterations in how you interpret reality. You could detect currents of energy coursing through your arms and legs, abrupt sensations of heat or chill, or an overwhelming sense of presence that exceeds the bounds of your typical senses. These signals indicate that your physical form is adapting to a higher vibrational existence. Some individuals observe manifestations such as seeing multiple copies of themselves, or perceive anomalous visuals like having 10 digits on one hand. These are indicators that your traditional human structure is evolving into a more extraordinary form. It's your body's way of signaling that the metamorphosis is genuine and deeply sacred. It shows your cellular structure is being attuned to celestial frequencies, getting ready to carry more illumination and spiritual insight. Although these physical experiences may feel bizarre, they are essential to the unfolding transformation. Think of them as the first sprouts from a seed pushing through the ground, seeking sunlight. This phase of calibration holds immense importance. Approach these shifts with openness and confidence instead of apprehension. The more you honor these signals, the more easily your physical vessel will align with the divine energies preparing to flow through you. As you edge closer to this spiritual shift, you'll start perceiving subtle yet powerful differences in how you interpret your environment. Colors may seem richer, sounds might carry a deeper resonance, and your instincts will feel heightened. These are not random happenings. They are confirmations that your awareness is stretching past what used to be. Concepts that once baffled you may now become crystal clear, and connections with people or places may feel deeply intimate, even if you can't rationally explain why. Some describe encounters where they perceive timelines overlapping or moments where time feels fluid and non-linear, as though all eras coexist. Though it might feel disorienting at first, it's a sign your consciousness is entering the frequency of the fifth dimension. Visuals or phenomena like noticing multiple fingers on one hand may reappear, symbolizing the dissolving of old physical constraints. These fresh perspectives are blessings, but they also call for grounding and conscious acceptance. Welcome them as sacred markers that your transformation has begun. These occurrences are part of a transition to a life where you are no longer restricted by conventional time or perception. In this new realm, divine intelligence flows through you without obstruction. You are awakening. Be attentive and reverent toward these divine cues. They are guiding your soul and body toward a new spiritual frontier. A deep emotional and mental renewal is vital. Emotions such as anger, guilt, envy, and fear create blockages that obstruct the full presence of divine energy within you. Visualize attempting to fill a soiled glass with pristine water. Until it's clean, the water cannot fill it properly. Your thoughts must become a sanctuary, untainted by destructive emotions. Begin by witnessing your internal dialogue without reacting. Then start releasing patterns that do not reflect your highest truth. It might sting initially, especially when parting with long-standing pain or disappointments, but it is essential. Every negative emotion that you relinquish breaks another shackle keeping you tied to your former self. This process of purification clears room for bliss, tranquility, and divine essence to inhabit you fully. View this as a spiritual cleansing of your inner world, similar to tidying your living space to foster balance and peace. The more you let go of old weight, the more luminous and powerful your energy field becomes. This light will enable you to carry and sustain the spiritual evolution taking place. God invites you now to cleanse your interior landscape. This is your sacred readiness. Your body is the consecrated sanctuary through which holy light shall course. It is essential to support it with nourishment that vibrates with purity and life force. Drinking sanctified water is far from a symbolic act. It's a spiritual rite that harmonizes your form with divine resonance. You can bless the water yourself with intentional prayer or draw it from consecrated sources. Each sip acts as a sacred pact, strengthening your bond with the divine and washing away old energetic patterns held in your cells. In addition to sacred water, include foods in your diet that are energetically aligned. Organically grown fruits, fresh vegetables, and foods cultivated in respect to nature's rhythms. These carry prana, the life-sustaining energy that elevates your vibration and fortifies your body to house divine light. Steer away from processed or lifeless foods, as they can dim your awareness and inhibit the clarity you're meant to embrace. Eating becomes a sacred gesture, a holy acknowledgement of the transformation happening within. By uniting blessed hydration with mindful nourishment, you're crafting a physical temple fit for the immense spiritual evolution ahead. This daily ritual becomes a testimony. I accept the divine path. When your body is cleared and rejuvenated, it becomes a beacon through which sacred energy flows, prepared to receive the immense possibilities the fifth dimension holds. This dimension is not merely one of ethereal light and energy, it is a proving ground. Its frequency is intense and unwavering, requiring a prepared and fortified vessel to remain steady within it. Only those who have approached this shift with deliberate cleansing, spiritual practice, and heartfelt readiness will be able to remain and flourish in such a realm. Think of the journey as ascending a sacred peak. The heights offer divine vision and fresh opportunities, but the ascent demands resolve, clarity, and unwavering trust. If your energy is unsteady or your inner world is crowded with fear, your experience of this new dimension may be fleeting or partial. You might find yourself sliding back into older, denser vibrations until your inner strength is cultivated. However, For those who faithfully commit to their spiritual preparation, the experience will be not only transformative but enduring. There's urgency in the divine invitation. Every step you take to cleanse, nourish, and elevate your being brings you closer to anchoring in this exalted state. With sincere intent, you can stand firmly in this radiant dimension, partaking in its infinite blessings. This sacred plane does not open its doors to the unready. It welcomes those who have faced their inner darkness and emerged purified. Within you is a divine architecture, an eternal map crafted by the Creator that contains your highest essence and true nature. This blueprint has long slumbered beneath layers of societal programming, fear, and spiritual amnesia. Now the divine summons resounds clearly. Awaken your inner design and rise as the luminous being you were always intended to be. Activating this divine map means embracing your truth, manifesting your innate talents, and embodying the spiritual gifts encoded within your soul. It's a call to spiritual rebirth, a remembrance that you are a sacred emanation of the Creator, destined for greatness. By preparing both your physical and mental spaces, you are setting into motion the activation of this celestial pattern. As it awakens, you'll encounter illuminating insights, intuitive breakthroughs, and a profound internal alignment, affirming that you are indeed walking your sacred path. These experiences are affirmations that your spiritual DNA is reawakening. Divine guidance is ever present, ready to lead you through this divine evolution, but it necessitates your full engagement. Answer the call. Stir your inner code into life, and witness how your existence becomes a radiant expression of divine intention. As you reach the fulfillment of this holy transformation, a breathtaking new reality emerges before you. Insights, sacred truths, and universal wisdom will unveil themselves with ease and grace. This isn't knowledge you earn through books or labor. It's an effortless knowing that streams from your highest self. Alongside this wisdom comes power, the capability to heal, to create, to manifest your highest visions, and to influence the world around you from a place of divine clarity. This is the boundless promise offered by the Creator. A clarity so penetrating it allows you to see past the illusions and interact with the forces that shape life itself. You will no longer waver in confusion or doubt. Instead, you'll walk with sovereign grace, embodying divine truth in all you do. This transformation is not only a personal spiritual awakening, it is a universal elevation. You become a vessel through which divine order flows. You are now stepping into your rightful place as a sacred architect of heaven on earth. Approach this role with humility and divine confidence, knowing that your transformation serves as a beacon to others. The gates of sacred knowledge and limitless potential are swinging wide open. Step into them with courage. Now is the moment to claim your divine identity and show the world that you have been chosen, not by chance, but by divine ordination, to guide humanity into a new spiritual age. This metamorphosis you're undergoing isn't merely for personal elevation. It's a universal proclamation that you're prepared to illuminate spaces once shadowed, to mend places once wounded, and to awaken optimism in corners once dimmed by hopelessness. Your rising is a radiant flare, a compelling sign that the former ways are dissolving. Step into this responsibility with bravery and grace. At times, the enormity of it may unsettle you, but always recall that you're enveloped in God's boundless affection and direction. Now is the moment to radiate without hesitation, to stride boldly, and to distribute the divine essence that flows within you. The world is in dire need of your presence. You are the awakened soul, venturing beyond the veil into a transformed realm, forging pathways that others may traverse. Each motion you make in this elevated sphere is living proof of your strength and trust in the divine. Your evolution will ignite the divine spark in countless others. Walk proudly, aware that divine companionship surrounds you and your brilliance is helping rewrite humanity's path. This mission is your sacred charge, a destiny reaching its realization. The realm of the fifth dimension surpasses every traditional notion of existence. It's a plane free from spatial and temporal restrictions, where all timelines converge into one unending present. Within this space, your awareness expands vastly, bringing you into direct resonance with the divine source, the essence that fuels and breathes life into all. It is a place where unity prevails, where love is given without condition, and infinite creation is always at hand. Here, dichotomies like light versus shadow or virtue versus flaw dissolve into insignificance. You perceive life through a lens of unity and tranquility, beyond fear or blame. The fifth dimension invites you to embrace full presence, deep interconnection with self, with others, and the cosmos. In this space, your thoughts instantly shape your experience, and your inner mission becomes undeniably vivid. Comprehending this domain equips you with the insight and strength needed for your soul's ascension. It asks you to release the grip of the third dimension, with all its divisions, pain, and constraints, and to step into an existence grounded in love and cosmic order. This comprehension is the map by which you'll travel this new terrain with poise and inner power. As your being acclimates to this fifth dimensional frequency, your physical form begins to undergo remarkable transformation. You might feel waves of vitality, spontaneous wellness, or shifts in how you perceive the world through your senses. Your body is calibrating itself to accommodate divine energies, becoming a vessel capable of holding and radiating celestial frequencies. Some may feel tingles, warmth, or internal vibrations as their cells evolve beyond their former limitations. Your perception of time may become non-linear, space might feel malleable, and your body may feel weightless or expansive. These phenomena are manifestations of profound inner recalibration taking place on every level, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Although these symptoms can challenge your understanding, they are clear indicators of ascension. Welcome these adjustments with grace and compassion, acknowledging that each one is refining you into the enlightened being that God envisioned. Your body is not merely a shell, it's an alchemical tool orchestrating the shift into your divine state. The unseen power animating this entire metamorphosis is spiritual energy. It's the holy current that surges within you, awakening your cells and aligning you with sacred dimensions. This power is what carries you from your former state into your divinely destined form. Without it, no preparation, physical or mental, could bring about true change. Spiritual energy is the sacred breath that connects you directly to the source of all life. This inner power can be nurtured and amplified through intentional practices such as prayer, deep breathing, and mindfulness. Every devoted moment spent in spiritual connection magnifies your inner light and elevates your energetic signature. Think of this divine energy